name's Ann Meersman, and I've lived in Tacoma for about 13 years after I married my wonderful husband, even though I've been in the Tacoma area for going on 40. Let's see, I'm a volunteer at Tacoma Food Co-op Wednesday mornings. If you're in the area, come by, say hi. I'm a wife, mom, homemaker. I'm also a potter. I make functional pottery and tiles. I have a couple examples of my work on 6th Avenue. There's a tile trash can in front of the liquor store on 6th and Pine. And then the new concrete bulb out on 6th and Prospect. There's some tiles inset, and I made those. So, let's see. We're asked to present an image that portrays a defining moment, and that was really hard for me to do, because I think we're made up of lots of defining moments. And so I started thinking about, well, how am I going to show my image with all my defining moments? And then I started thinking about dividing myself up and labeling everything. And then I thought about those pictures of the cows, you know, that have the little cuts of meat on it. And that's what I got. So instead of one defining moment, I'm going to talk about maybe, I'll call it a defining period of time. I was 10 when my dad retired from the Navy and we moved to Puyallup from Hawaii. My dad was white, my mom Japanese. And it was 1971, and judging by the stares we got when we arrived, we were probably the first biracial family that Puyallup had seen. Now, my brothers and I, we didn't know we were different from everybody else. I mean, we had a dad who worked hard to support us, and we had a mom who made a loving home and cared for us just like everybody else. But we looked different, and the kids were curious, and they asked lots of questions. Questions like, what are you? Where are you from? Where were you born? What nationality are you? And when I said, well, I'm German and Japanese, they'd say, well, you don't look Japanese. You look Indian. I think you're Indian. The kids were nice enough at school, but we never saw them after class let out. They didn't come over to our house, and we were rarely invited to theirs. The next year, my parents bought a house across town, so we went to a different school. But different school, same story. So at the end of the 6th grade, our class took a field trip to the junior high school to tour the school. And in one of the classrooms, I remember this boy pointing at me, and he yells out, "Are you a chink?" And the class started laughing, and the teacher shushed them and reprimanded the boy, and I just stood there. I mean, I didn't really know what he was saying, but I knew it wasn't good. So in junior high school, there seemed to be 3 groups of kids I ran into. The largest group were the kids who were curious about me, and they asked questions. Questions like, what are you? What color is your blood? What do you eat other than rice? Do you sleep in a bed, or do you sleep on the floor on a mat? A smaller group of kids were the ones that liked to taunt me and call me names like Jake and Gook and Jap, Squaw, Half-Breed, and Mutt. And then there was my favorite group, and it was just a small handful of kids. They were my friends. They never asked me questions, and they never called me names. By the time I got to high school, I was making friends, participating in sports and other activities. I even had a boyfriend. I went from that girl who didn't look Japanese to the girl who was really good in band. And when I was a junior, my teacher convinced me to audition for a group called America's Youth in Concert. If I was selected, I would spend my summer touring Europe. So I sent in my tape, and they picked me. We had one U.S. performance before we boarded our plane, and I was thrilled and very proud that my parents got to travel to New York to watch me perform in Carnegie Hall. I've performed in Carnegie Hall. And I saw the changing of guards at Buckingham Palace. I walked the halls of Versailles and the Louvre. I've seen the Mona Lisa and the Eiffel Tower. I rode a gondola in Venice, saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the ruins of Pompeii. I had so many exciting experiences that none of the kids back home had, and I thought, isn't it great to be different? Now I have to admit, over the years I've played the what if game, you know. What if we had moved to Seattle or Tacoma instead of Puyallup? What if I looked more like my mom and less like my dad? What if both my parents were white? But if my life were different, then I would be too. And I like who I am. And those years have taught me many, many important lessons. To treat others as you would like to be treated. that people should be judged by their words and deeds and not by the way they look and the color of their skin. That before you can expect others to defend you, you have to first learn how to stand up for yourself. That sticks and stones may break your bones, and sometimes words can hurt. Family sticks together. A good friend will always have your back, and a little humor goes a long way to ease a tense or awkward situation. And after years of keeping quiet, trying to fit in, I learned that it was okay to be different, and that I had a right to speak my mind. And if someone asked me today, what are you? I would say, I'm a who, not a what. I am generous and loving, intelligent, funny, opinionated, loyal, and outspoken. I'm a wife, a mother, sister, daughter, friend, musician, artist, aspiring dieter, and as my dad would say, I'm a chief cook and bottle washer. And if they insist, no, what are you? I have an answer for that too. I'm content. Thank you.